Well, hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. We are going to get right to the point. Candace lied. And from what I can see, I've been the only one to find this or point it out. I mean, I don't know that, but it looks like I know it. Let's get to it. All right, let's play a clip from Candace. It contains a bit more than the lie, but you need the context. Plus, it is nuttier than a squirrel's breakfast.
And we should get back to our map now because it's getting a little squishy in Wilmington, Delaware. I'm feeling claustrophobic in Wilmington, Delaware, and I've never even been there. Okay, so here's our block. We got a couple of blocks here, and we told you yesterday we've got this FBI suite in this building that's actually owned by the Wilmington Trust at 500 Delaware Avenue. We've got Brigitte Lawyers at 919 North Market Street. Also in that building happens to be Stacey Sheridan's registered agent. That's Stacey Sheridan of Turning Point USA. We're going to talk about her in a second. We've got the Wilmington Trust actual location, which is at 1100 North Market. We told you about this crane, this red crane at 1100 North King Street, and that's Bracebridge Complex, which is supposed to house Insight headquarters, and they've got a French CEO. It's just a lot happening here. And
Pepe Sylvia, this name keeps coming up over and over again. Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail, well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia. So I say to myself, I gotta find this guy. I gotta go up to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands. Otherwise, he's never gonna get it. It's gonna keep coming back down here.
Now, having a registered agent in Delaware isn't, you have an LLC, you're supposed to have a registered agent, and people tend to choose between Wyoming and Delaware, sometimes Las Vegas to form their own corporations. But wow, what are the chances that Stacey Sheridan has a registered agent that's in that building too? Because I have LLCs, and I've got LLCs in Delaware, and I'm not even in Wilmington. There's a lot to choose from. It's a whole state. But Stacey Sheridan's registered agent is there too. People had noted, by the way, that she had a few LLCs, which she was getting paid through. It could all be above board. I don't really know. But the one I'm speaking about is Cloverstone Ventures.
Boy, okay. Well, before we get to the outright lie, I just want to note something because I would love for her followers just to start using a few critical thinking skills. Now, I, unlike Candace, have actually been to Delaware.
Hi, I'm in Delaware.
It's a very, very small state. And I actually had been to the county, and I believe actually in Wilmington at one point, but in the county where Wilmington is located, which is Newcastle County, and been in the town of Newcastle. It's gorgeous. And there was this park that I went to where just looking across the waterway, you could see like multiple states. Delaware is tiny. It's not as tiny as Rhode Island. So saying something like, oh, well, you had the whole state, first realize how tiny Delaware is. Now, in order to get a grasp of Wilmington, because I'm not that great with geographical spatial notions, I was like, well, I got a good grasp of where I live. I live in Castle Rock, Colorado. We have a population of about 84,000. These numbers are not going to be precise. So I'm like, I can grasp that. On how much territory, land territory, does this amount of people live or work? And it's over, I believe, 30 square miles. So I was like, okay, how many people are in Wilmington? And it's about 10,000 people less. So I was like, well, how many land square miles does that occupy? And I say land square miles because I think about 40% of Wilmington is actually that waterway. It's just over 10 square land miles. So a bigger population where I live fits into nearly 3 times or over 3 times the land square mile. So it's very dense in Wilmington. And there is a very dense waterside business district where all of these businesses, and there's so many corporations that are corporations to receive service of process for other corporations. They're the registered agents for those corporations. As she mentioned, it's very, very popular to file corporations and LLCs in Delaware, which means there's a big need for registered agents there because most of the companies that are Delaware corporations and LLCs aren't actually doing business directly in Delaware. As she mentioned, her own, at least one incorporation and one LLC, are formed in Delaware. Now, she mentioned the one that was formed by Stacy Sheraton's LLC, or at least one of Stacy Sheraton's LLCs. Now we come to lie number 1. And I just looked this up on my own for poops and grins. I was just curious. So she mentioned Cloverstone Ventures. Okay, so I went to the Delaware Business Entity search page. It's probably through the Delaware Secretary of State. And here you go, Cloverstone Ventures. But take a look at this. The registered agent is not in Wilmington. We can give that benefit of the doubt, but let's just say right now it's InCorp Services and Newcastle County, which is the same county as Wilmington, but it's not in Wilmington. Okay. But let's take a look at something else, because here is where we are going to come to her outright lie. And this is what got me curious to begin with. I mean, she wants people to be curious, right? So I know the names of her LLCs, at least one, and a corporation, at least one, from covering the Macron lawsuit. So let's pull this up. Candace Owens LLC. But oh my goodness, take a look at this. Didn't Candace say registered agent, E-Resident Agent Inc.? Where? In Wilmington. Suspicious that is. I wonder if the building is painted maroon. We definitely need to look into that. French, whatever. But let's take a look at her corporation, because that was also sued in the Macron suit. George Tom Inc. And here we go. Well, my goodness, would you believe this? Its registered agent is Inc., the same one as her LLC. And should we place this on her map? I'm not going to bother to do that, because this whole thing is absolutely barking moonbat. People, you're watching a woman having a paranoid schizophrenic, I believe, alleged breakdown in public. Do not indulge it. Now, I've got an Egyptian plane to get on. Bye.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians, or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they want